What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Closing the Deal. I'm one of your hosts, Zach Dixon, and sitting across from me today is my co-host, Sam Enright. What is going on this morning, Sam?
What's going on? How are you doing this morning?
Oh, fantastic. Cannot complain at all. Cannot complain. Super excited for our recording session today.
Absolutely, guys. We got another episode, another Saturday Talks episode for you guys coming out. Trying to get these, what do we say, once a month or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, give or take. Try
Somewhere
to,
around there. So
yeah, beginning of the month, first couple weeks of the month. So
yeah. So we got another Saturday Talks episode for you guys. Got some updates from the previous, going to talk about some things that were said, address some things that our viewership is they've been calling for us to address some of these takes. So we got to get those out there. Obviously, we got some news stories, some new updates on life to get back out for you guys. Got something that just happened to me yesterday. Super excited to talk about it because it's one of a kind experience that I'm not sure will ever happen to me again. So excited.
yeah, and it's been a pretty busy summer. I don't know. I mean, I assume I can speak for both of us on that front. It's just felt like I've been on the go nonstop every single day, just doing something. So, got a lot of good stories from this summer. Hopefully, dive into a couple of them today here.
Yeah, it is. I agree. It's been a very, very busy summer. I mean, we're already in August. Time has gone by in a flash. So I think that's a recurring theme on this pod for us to just call out the extreme obvious of what date or what month we're in, and then just talk about how absurd it is that we're in that month. So we're keeping things consistent here.
I feel like that's truly just something as you get older that it's just I don't know, it's a real big sticking point. It's a real talking point because it just never felt like this as kids, you know. You were in school and days were fast and or they felt long at that point, but they were in reality they went quick. You were staring at the clock trying to get to the next period and whatnot, but it just I don't know. This is a big talking point. I feel like as you get older, you just it all just passes you by real quick.
Yep, for sure. I think there's you have this phenomenon where, when you're in high school or in that age, you want that time to go by quickly because you want to get to a certain you think once you get to 18, you get this, or once you get to 21, you get that. And so like these are these milestones in your life, or once you get to 16, you get to drive. 18, you become basically legal in the United States. You can do really anything other than drink legally. And then obviously 21 is kind of that last age. And now once you get there, it's like, then you want time to slow down. Then it's like, okay, well, we've reached all these milestones that get us all these things. Now we want things to slow down. And it works in the opposite. So you spend like most of your young adult or young adolescence wishing and hoping that you get to this age quickly. And then once you get to that age, you want to slow down. It's like, it's just not how it works. So here
My
we are,
parents always,
almost
yeah,
30.
literally. Parents used to always tell me that didn't want to wish away my childhood, and I'm like, fuck it, whatever. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah. That's another
I
thing
want to
we
be an
talk
adult.
about.
I want to make my own money. I want to control my time. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's some trade offs for sure, give and takes, pros and cons to both of them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain about adulthood. I think it's pretty awesome in most respects. You know what I mean? There's some really, really awesome benefits. When you're 16, you get to drive, like you still got to clear it by mom and dad, like where you're going. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could talk about it on just recently what has gone on. But, later in the pod, but, my fiance and I, we just booked an Airbnb in the middle of the week and literally, went away for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? No checks, no clearances by anybody, just one of those things that you can just do when you're older. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a lot of, I think, more positives, but the time thing is, I mean, let's just be real. The time didn't change. Like, it still goes by the same. It's just the way that our brains function it now versus when it was when we were younger.
For sure. And I think obviously though too, just being more busy and having more items to do as an adult that
Yeah.
contributes as well. I mean, you were busy as a kid. I feel like parents are they do their best to keep you busy as a kid, to keep you running, to keep you moving so you're not just sitting around and whatnot. But I don't think it really hits like, moving from one spot to another spot right after school or whatever it is. It just doesn't hit as a kid as much as it does as an adult, in my opinion.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, school's definitely way different than a job too. Like, I think
Yeah.
obviously we work very high pace, fast paced jobs that require a little bit more than what was being required in school of us. So I mean, I know they try to get it. I feel like at least replicate it a little bit, get you an idea of what the workforce looks like. But yeah, much different once you get out here.
May need to revamp that a little bit. That's probably a conversation for
Whoa,
another
whoa,
pod
whoa,
here.
whoa. That's controversial.
Oh man. Well, why don't you get us started with your good story from yesterday? I've been dying to hear about this. You texted me immediately afterwards, ready to tell me. So I'm intrigued. Let's hear it.
So yeah, we had gone to the golf. We every Tuesday, my fiance and I, we go with her dad out to the golf course. Recently, her dad has been bringing a friend. Um, Great guy, cool dude. And yeah, today usually we have like riding partners. Jordan, yeah, my fiance will always ride with her dad. I'll usually ride alone, and so this week the friend came, and so Jordan's dad and her, friend and his friend rode together. Jordan and I rode together, and so we were on the first hole. We had all hit our tee shots, and we were kind of basically we had drove up the fairway. Their cart was over here. Jordan and I were over here in our cart, probably about 40 yards away to the left, a little bit like further ahead. It wasn't like just right in line. So we were kind of like up here. They were back here. And I just wasn't paying attention whatsoever. And the friend had gone, swung the club. And all I remember was Jordan said, "Watch out." And I literally just sat there and literally golf ball directly in the back of my head hit me. Um, it was like kind of a
Ooh.
perfect storm because like this course that we play is like all the holes run congruently like this. So like you got one, you got two, you got four. So it's like the people on two tee box, I guess, had literally hit it right into our fairway, and the ball, like as soon as he was going to hit, the friend dropped right in front of him. So he's distracted by the fact that he's going back to swing. Ball comes flying in at him. He swings and then literally just hits me stone cold back of the head. I just had never. Jordan's like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" They come over because I literally got up, I got out of the cart, and I was like, "Just cracked me." I was like, I just,
Just
I just,
cracked me.
I'd never been a part of that. Obviously we told it on our golf podcast, like how we've been a part of one of our buddies hitting dude in the ear. I've always been, I guess, maybe a little bit risky. Like if you watch me, like I was telling Jordan, like I'm like, I will drive up in the fairway while my buddies are hitting, and like I'll be out here just standing, and I'll be like, yeah, I mean, I've never been hit by a golf ball in my life. I've been playing golf for like 15 years, and this thing just struck me cold hard back of the head. And I started asking Jordan, like, I played contact sports until like high school, or like really before middle school. Like I played football and stuff like in elementary school. I'm like, what is a concussion? Like, what is the symptoms of concussion? Like, I don't know anything about this. Like, what am I supposed to feel? They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think." I have no freaking idea. Like, I feel fine. I feel good. I mean, yeah, my head hurts, but like other than that, so I don't know. The night we ended up playing golf. I was like 3 under through 8 holes and ended up shooting. I made bogey on the last, ended up shooting like 2 under. So they're like, "Yeah, I think you're fine." So, and I went home and ate dinner, went to bed, and it was like any normal night. I woke up. I mean, the back of my head's like sore for sure. Got like a little bit of a knot back there, but other than that, like all good.
That was gonna be one of my questions. Did you end up with a little battle scar? You got a knot on there, or did you take it? Did you hit and then drop immediately, or did you stand and just diesel
Well,
dog?
like we were literally sitting in the cart. So like Jordan and I were sitting in the cart. She was watching like him hit. I was not. Like I just was like, I don't even remember what I was doing. Like I was just
Uh,
focused on whatever was out in front of me. And she's like, "Watch out." She like ducks. And I don't like we were like 40 yards away. So it was like close enough to where I didn't have enough reaction time, which I was like later, like when we got to the end of the hole, I'm like, kind of glad about, because like if she had said watch out and we had been a little bit further ahead and I had time to like turn my head, like that could have
right
cracked
in
me
the
like right in the
face.
cheek, you know what I'm saying, like right in my eye, like anything. And so like I just like sat there and just, yeah, literally clacked me. I got up, stood up out of the cart, and I just like kind of like bent over with my head, and I was like, "Ooh!" And then like they came up, they're like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." And we literally just drove off, and I went and hit my shot, and I don't know, like that was kind of the extent of it. So like it didn't like bring me to my knees or anything like that, but yeah. And then I got home was getting the shit out of my car and cracked my head again off my car door. Not as hard as that, but I'm like, dude, I gotta get inside. I gotta just this day's got to be done.
Start over tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So I mean, out of all the things I've seen, like just being out at like Mastodon before, like just it's a frenzy out there on the back nine. Cats are liable to get hit. Like I've seen some balls get really close. Like it was, but like I've never been a part. I did drill a lady in high school, a mom that was out there watching her son. I felt bad about that one. So, obviously the guy in our group that, the friend, he was very, very distraught, like very shook, like just apologized repeatedly, like was very, very like unhappy about the situation. I'm like, dude, it's not that big of a deal, like it's all good. So it all ended up working out, but I did feel for him because he was like kind of like legitimately like checked out for like the next four holes, like just like he didn't even want to be there anymore. And I just kept telling him, like, dude, it's all right, like it's not a big deal, like it's all good. Like I wasn't pressed, like shit happens. We shouldn't have been sitting that far ahead. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's partially on us for being there. And yeah, so I'm glad it didn't hit Jordan. I'm glad it hit me of all people. So I'm just, glad I was got a big enough noggin to take it and move on, I guess. So
That is what the skull is for, they say. That's what the skull is for.
yep, protect that old brain up there.
That's funny though, because I have a story just like that. Because, like you said, we have never really seen that in our time golf, and obviously we did the one time with our buddy Trevor, but literally one time over the last 10, 12 years or so that I've seen that. But I was actually playing in an industry outing last Monday, and we had two teams from our company. So we had the A team that I was a part of, and we had the B team. The B team, my broker was a part of that one, and he was actually playing with his brother. And some of these outings are packed in like sardines. They're trying to get as many teams as they possibly can in there. So each hole will have two teams on a hole for a total of 36 teams in the whole outing. That will make for a very long day. You're sitting around waiting for shots and whatnot. But I get to dinner after the outing, and my broker Jay is telling me about how his brother, they were sitting waiting for a tee shot, and his brother got cracked with a golf ball in the shin. It went through their cart, went clean through their cart, went through another cart, and then cracked my broker Jay's brother in the shin. It immediately started bleeding. It gave him a big old gash. Like he had to go to the hospital afterwards and get it stitched up because he got smacked with a golf ball in a an industry fun outing, whatever. I think the worst part though about the whole thing is that, unlike your story with the friend who is very shook up, very apologetic, these people came up per Jay. These people came up to them and said nothing. No, I'm sorry. No, I apologize. No, are you all right? They just walked right past him and moved on. They said nothing at all. And I'm just like,
And they
wow.
realized like what had happened. Like they knew
Yeah,
that they
yeah, they
wow.
knew. Yeah, and said nothing, not a word. And this is the team that ended up winning too. So they
Wow.
must have been pretty locked in on what they were doing, except for on that shot specifically.
Well, you know what they say, there's two types of people in this world, So people that give a
It's true.
shit and people that don't. I guess
Yeah,
they're part of
that's
the part of the
the
group that does
latter.
not give a shit. Like, yeah, thanks
But
for
he said
stopping my golf ball.
it was bleeding like nonstop. Like he obviously had to go get it stitched up. Like it's just that it's crazy what
That's crazy.
a little this size little ball will do to you. A little bit of
Oh,
damage.
buddy, they're hard though. Like you put them
Yeah,
in
they
your
are.
hand, you don't really realize, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have realized over time like how hard a golf ball is, but until that thing cracked me in the head, I don't think I truly realized like really how hard it is. I am very lucky. Like obviously I feel like if I was hitting that golf ball, like if it had been me
Yeah.
at the speed that the ball comes off
Yeah.
of my club face, like that's going to inflict a lot more pain. So I got very lucky that like he kind of like cold hard like shanked it, not very hard, you know what I'm saying, like not at a very high speed, because obviously any faster one probably not. That's why I was like Jordan, I was like, she's like, are you all right? I'm like, I don't know, is it bleeding back there, like is there a gash, like is there anything? She's like, no, there's nothing. I'm like, all right, then we should be fine, I guess.
And that was where I was gonna take it, was the speed thing, the speed aspect of it. Like I mean, some people can hit the ball pretty fast, obviously,
Yeah.
depending on what club is being used and whatnot. So it can be pretty dangerous, I would say, especially if it catches you at the right spot, like how you were talking about turning. If you go up a little
Yeah.
bit further, right in the temple, like oof,
Yeah.
that's
Temple,
dicey.
cheekbone, like
Yeah,
up here on my brow bone, like there could have been a lot worse things happen, like for sure. So, um,
you live to tell the tale. You left the war
yeah.
zone of the golf course. You're here. We're all
Oh, and
good.
it was a war zone too, because like legitimately, the very 2 holes later, par three, cats were hitting and almost flew directly into the back into our cart. Luckily, I was not standing there. I'm like, Jordan, like, watch out. And this ball came hurling in. Then they drove on the next tee box, like this group behind us, young kids, just blasting the ball, literally came down the hill and ended up right where the other two guys in our group were at. And so, and finally we said something to them, like, you guys have like hit into us like 3 times, like, you know what I'm saying? And so they backed off for the rest of the round, which was nice because it's not a very long golf course out there. Like, I hit a lot of 4 irons off tees and stuff. Like, I have one hole you can hit driver on, and these dudes are blasting driver on every single hole. Like when we're still sitting there, I'm like, they must have never played there before. He's like, I've never hit a shot that good in my life. That was basically what they
That's
said.
always
So
the excuse. So
always the excuse. So I'm just
always.
like, whatever. Lack of patience. What are you gonna do? But yeah, that's my golf story. So I've skipped getting hit by a golf ball, never to not just taking one in the body, anything like that, just getting cracked directly in the head.
Domed.
So domed. So first time for everything for I think everybody in that group.
Well, that was a good one. I appreciate you sharing that one. That kind of parlays me into our next topic, I think, here, and that's me, hands up, admitting my faults, my take, which was absolutely freezing cold about Scotty Scheffler. He immediately after the PGA Championship, if you guys watched our second episode of the Saturday Talks series, I was not impressed whatsoever. Just felt like it was another PGA Tour venue, PGA Tour win. I wanted him to win something else, something that really like made him work for it and made him play a different type of game. Um, I think to clarify, just going backwards a little bit, I'm still hands up. Don't get it twisted. I'm still hands up. Just to
It
clarify
was like
though,
a half. What you didn't like. It was like a half credit. You were like, yeah,
yeah.
it was a good win, but no, it still doesn't satisfy what I'm looking for out of it. Because like, you didn't necessarily like say like, yeah, he's dog water. Like, but you were like,
I
PGA,
want to see
okay,
more. I want
but
to
I
see
want to see.
more.
Yeah, he still was on
Yeah.
the hot seat basically after all of these lists of guys that could potentially be on the hot seat. It's still Scotty Scheffler on the hot seat after winning another major. That was your take, was like, this guy's got to go win again, while other guys who have not won in 4 or 5 years, they're still in the clear. This guy is the clear cut guy on your hot seat list. Was kind of, that was where you basically took the take.
And let me cut to the very end here, the very last part. He's off the hot seat. We're done. He did what he had to do in this instance here. But just again clarifying, I just wanted to see him grind out a victory, all in all. And obviously he didn't have to grind out this Open Championship win, but I think it qualifies as really just playing a different type of game. As we talked about, me and you, after Bryson's first round, where you literally texted me and you said, this guy will never win an Open Championship solely because of how he plays how he plays golf, and how his game's set up to play golf. Obviously, he did come back and play well Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so that
I mean, I
notion
have a
may be
theory
changed.
about that though. Like, I feel like Thursday was the only day that they really got like somewhat of conditions out at the
Yeah.
course. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they had some wind, they had some rain off and on. Like, that was the only like true like Open Championship type of. The rest of the days were sunny, beautiful. I mean, there may have been a little bit of wind blowing, but you know what I mean? Like, that's what makes Open Championship conditions the conditions. Not to say he may win one. I may, we may come back and I may hands up, now that we put that take on the record. But I just felt like looking at those rounds, that was the only rounds where like we actually truly got like some Open Championship conditions. And then he shot 78. Obviously, anybody who shoots 78 comes back and finishes top five, I think is where he ended up, or top six, whatever it was. Like, hats off to him. But I still think I stand by the take that I don't know that Bryson will ever win one, like with his multiple calculations. Cause I mean, as soon as you get some wind and all these things going on, I feel like that it's a very big feel test. It's who can, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? There is a lot of that involved. And when everything, like, I don't, if you ever watched any of Bryson's videos, like they are interesting on YouTube to watch because he literally tells you about his
goes through all that. Yeah.
calculations. Yeah. It's like, oh, we got a 26-foot putt going uphill. Oh, we're going to play it 3 extra feet. Oh, it's breaking this much. Oh, we're going to play this much percent. And it's like the way that he does math on all of this, like it's cool. I just don't know that it translates to that sort of golf when you have wind, you have rain, you have weird bounces, you have quirkiness. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just things that are going to happen that do not make mathematical sense, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100% agree. And I guess that's where I'm going back to with my take is that I kind of wanted to see Scotty Scheffler win a tournament in those conditions or a grinded out type of tournament. Something to where it's feel based. It's not like it is a talent level thing, but I think over there in the Open Championship and some of the links golf, talent is a little bit equated. Like you have to do a little bit more than what your talent level is. Some of these PGA Tour stops is literally just a talent contest. Like who has the most talent, who can hit it the furthest, who can hit it the straightest. And so to see him win a tournament in kind of those conditions, those aspects is what I was kind of calling for after the PGA Championship, and he absolutely did it. I mean, he had a 6-7 shot lead after Saturday, and it didn't even become close on Sunday really. And so
Yeah.
he just he was steady Eddie throughout the entire tournament. He just did what he had to do, and he completely proved me wrong. And I'm super excited for Shinnecock next year. I think that we have a legitimate chance at the a back-to-back Grand Slam champion in back-to-back years, which is kind of crazy when you think about there's only been, as of right now, only 6 in the history of the game. I think 2 after World War II or after the Vietnam War, or 3. So again, just not very common at all. And the fact that we could have that happen in back-to-back years is just kind of crazy all in all, just kind of crazy. And I have to give my kudos to him because again, he proved me wrong completely. And he played well. He played well. Just a different type of game that's needed over there. And he showed up and showed out with it.
For sure. I mean, I don't think your take was very far off. I mean, I get what you were saying, but I think ultimately what I was trying to say on that pod was that when we look at the cat, he has some grinded out wins, but a lot of those came at the latter parts of his major record. You know what I mean? Like the one that comes to mind is, and the one you brought up was Tory, but that was 2008. At that point, he already had what, 10, 11, 12 majors. So, if we truly feel like Scotty's going to get to 7, 8, 9, I'm sure there's going to be a grinded out in there. But like thinking back into the original part of Tiger's career when he was first winning his majors, he was blowing the doors off these cats. And so, that's obviously what we're seeing with Scotty. He 4-putted at the first Masters and still won by like 4 or 5, 4 shots. I think the only one that he didn't win by multiple shots, which one was it? He's won every one by like 3 or 4, I think
It
at this
was
point,
the 24
other than
Masters. He only won by
24
2
Masters.
though.
Okay. So yeah, but I mean, PJ early this year, I think he won by 3 or 4. Obviously, blew the doors off these cats at the Open, won by 4, and then the original Masters like legitimately 4-putted and still won by 4 or 3 at that Masters. So we're seeing kind of that same trend. So, but it doesn't necessarily mean that if he ends the year, ends his career with 8 or 9 and ends up getting a couple of those gritty type of wins. I think they're going to have to come at some point. But he's just far and away. And you literally messaged me about it, talking about the no laying up guys. Like he's far and away so much better than anybody else out there right now when it comes to literally everything. And it's like he's become a better putter. The stats from when he switched to the TaylorMade Spider are insane. Like the number of wins he has and starts and everything. And so like he's actually turned himself into a formidable putter. I mean, I remember last year we were all saying like, yeah, I mean, if he putts halfway decent, like he's most likely going to win. If he putts great, like there's nobody who can keep up. And it's now like, okay, well, he no longer is like having those really shitty putting weeks. Now he's okay. Now he's putting great. And that's why, he has all these wins. I mean, we just got to tip or cap. I mean, it's definitely impressive stuff. And so, I mean, being compared to any part of Tiger's career is insane. But like to think that like he's on the trajectory of like Tiger post Tiger Slam is is insane. I mean, nobody's ever going to replicate that Tiger. You know what I mean? So,
There's a
but
different
the
conversation
Tiger
there, I think,
after is
maybe.
it? You know what I mean? What do you mean?
Yeah. During the Tiger Slam, there might be a different conversation that has to be had.
Oh yeah, that he
The
was.
golf ball, brother. The
Yeah,
golf ball.
levels ahead for sure. I mean,
Mhm.
100%. But
Yeah.
you know, some would say that he was playing against plumbers and firemen as well. So
He was. He
but
was indeed.
I don't know. So I mean, I'm not going to discount that the talent level's better
It's
today,
deeper for sure. It's
deeper,
deeper.
maybe
Yeah.
not better, but deeper. So, but yeah, I thought you were going to go. I honestly thought the segue was going to go into tooting your own horn a little bit. A little disappointed that that we didn't go there. So I guess we'll have to, I guess I'll have to toot your horn for you. But just an update for you guys. I can't remember where we left off on the last Saturday talks, but oddly enough, or crazy enough, kind of going back to our time, talking about time, but we are almost at the end of our Friends Tour season. Literally the very first episode we recorded of our Saturday talks, we had not even started our Friends Tour season. Our first event had gotten canceled, and we literally had not even played our first one. And here we are, Saturday talks number 3, and we have one event left. That's just crazy. But our one and only host, Zach Dixon, actually copped himself his first dub on the Friends Tour this year. Played a great. I had the pleasure of watching him play that day. It was a great round of golf, very consistent. We did have to give him a little oomph at the end to go into the playoff. Got to commend the guy he beat, because 3 under through his last 4 was actually insane. To
Gross
even be
too.
there, yeah, like that was nuts to get there. And then so we ended up having a tie, and we ended up having to do a little bit of a playoff, but Zach ended up coming out on top. Got his maiden victory on the Friends Tour. So it's impressive stuff.
It was a fun little round for sure. First time ever playing Glenn Ross, so it was. I didn't really know what to expect, honestly, coming in there. Sometimes you play really well at the course the first time you play it. Sometimes you play really shitty the first time you play it. It's never really know. But I started off real shitty. I was 5 over through 5, and then I played the next 13 holes, I think, and 1 over par. So yeah, I finished with a shot 76. I was making putts left and right. Some putts that I had no business absolutely making at all, but they were falling. I don't know if I talked about this on the last Saturday talks or not, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, but I did buy a Scotty Cameron putter earlier this year. It was in the bag for maybe a month, and it got put right back on the bench. And ever since it got put back on the bench, the golf game has gone upwards and onwards. So I think the Scotty is going to stay in the on the bench for the time being, unfortunately. But it's an unfortunate piece because I really, really like the feel of it. I like the look of it, but I am just an absolutely shitty putter with it. So I have to put it away. I've actually given it to my wife to add to her golf bag here. So she's got a pretty good little start with the Scotty Cameron. But the Spider has been treating me well, and definitely treated me well on Saturday at Glen Ross. I was putting it really well, and all summer I've really been driving it well, but I just can't really put everything together: irons, wedges, and putter with the driving. So to do the other 3 aspects pretty well, in addition to driving it pretty well, was a good feeling. Get that first Tour W. See if I can make some noise in the Tour Championship. I'm still about 200 points behind you, and about 250 points behind our leader in the FedEx Cup standings for the year-long race. So we'll see what happens in the Tour Championship and see if we can make a little bit of noise there. It should be fun.
Should be a good time. And I mean, I enjoyed Glenn Ross. I was telling Casey who we played with. I cannot name another par 70 course in Central Ohio. I don't know if
Yeah,
it was
that's
just
true.
like just blanking my mind, but I'm like, we just don't have a lot of those. So it was interesting to play only 2 par 5s, and then to hit the ball OB on both par 5s. Like that was really sweet. So yeah, just I thought it was a great course though. I mean, everything west of like New Albany on the Kemper side is from what I've played is not terrible.
Yeah.
I can live with the Bent Tree, I could live with the Glen Ross, and I can live with the I can more than live with the Golf Club of Dublin. That one's solid. But
Yeah.
everything east of that, starting with New Albany Links, is gonna have to just take my. Well, I guess there's Royal American too. which I've
Well, that
never
one's
been
east of New
to.
Albany too, though.
Yeah,
Or pretty
well,
much same line.
yeah, never played there. So, but yeah, it was a good event, and we had beautiful weather. I
Yeah, it was.
didn't even take my hoodie off at all, and I was in all black, and still like it was perfect. So, can't beat that type of weather for golf when you get those low to mid 70s with a little bit of breeze.
We may have to revisit the playoff format for next year. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we got to figure out something because I'm not fully bought in on putt offs or putting contests for playoffs. Um, but when
That's
we're
why
playing,
the
Saturday
wedge was
morning tee.
nice.
Yeah, that was okay. We did for this playoff, we didn't have anybody immediately behind us, so we went back about 40 yards and played an up and down game. Unfortunately, we both made the same score, so we had to go turn it into a putting contest after that because the group pulled up on the first tee. But usually we're playing on weekend mornings, so it's hard to, if we want to like just play one more hole to kind of settle the playoff. Usually can't do that because obviously the tee times are pretty much booked at public courses for the weekends. So um, definitely going to be a thinking point here in the off season for next year, trying to figure out a different maybe, I don't know, some better
I mean,
way of determining a winner.
we could adopt the old U.S. Open playoff style and just play
Play a
another
whole new
18
round.
holes. Yeah, play
Yeah,
another 18 the
that would
next
be
day or
dope.
something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, just something. I mean, it's going to be hard for some recreational golfers to book out a hole or two to go play a playoff when you're in the
Yeah.
middle of you know what I'm saying? Like we got done and it was literally 12:30, 1 o'clock. Like you're not getting out there. When we got up there,
Not
there was
squeezing.
literally multiple groups on the tee box and stuff waiting to go. So it's like you take what you can get, but definitely something to think about. I mean, luckily we've only had it twice and it's been the same two people each in each of
Yeah,
them.
it's true.
So at least you guys
That's true.
split them 1-1. So
Yeah.
drain that putt on that first one. I thought you were going to drain it on the actual hole after the wedge shot. To be honest with
I
you,
sucked for that one. Yeah, I sucked for that. I
I don't
was
know
just
about that,
spooked.
but
I was
yeah,
spooked.
it was a great shot you put in there. It definitely looked like when I think the first guy's wedge shot went to probably like 25 feet, and I think Zach put his to probably like 10, 12, something like that. And then first guy drilled his probably. I thought he was going to be out again, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
I
I
did
was like,
too.
are we going to make him putt? Like, going to make him putt first for his par or not, whatever it would be, up and down for three and let ZD putt because it was basically the same length. And Buddy, I mean, credit to him, came back and drilled it after you had missed because that could have easily, even though you missed it, could have easily been him that missed the other one and sent you guys to it. So, but. Hmm. But yeah, it
Was
was
a good
a
event for sure. It was a good one.
yeah, I was a little disappointed we didn't get out there to old Darby Creek, but what are you gonna do? Can't make 7 a.m. tee times halfway across the state.
Yeah,
All right,
that's true.
that's a little bit stretch, but it definitely is a
Big
far
ask.
drive for our newer guys. That's for sure.
Yep. Well, the Friends Tour ending and August coming also brings a positive for us too. You know what's on the horizon for us here in the next couple of weeks? Actually, I take that back. You know what actually started last Thursday and is continuing this week and the next coming weeks?
I'm told that it might be football.
Some foosball, but I cannot wait. We are here. It's almost football season. That brings all of the exciting aspects of football season.
And
Ohio State.
that's American football for our overseas listeners.
I am I am a big European football fan too, but not as big of a fan as American football here. Ohio State football on the docket, Cincinnati Bengals football on the docket, fantasy football on the docket. Best time of the year here in Ohio, in my opinion.
Or
Well,
worst time
actually,
of the year if you're asking our fiancés. They would
yeah, it's
probably
true.
they would say that this is their least favorite time of the year. I've already heard Jordan say it. Oh my god, football season's back. Their off season is never long enough. Let's just say that when they have to hear about fantasy. Oh man, always
And
funny.
all of it too, just Sundays, just watching it, or the fantasy football, setting the lineups and
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, like all the trade talk and all of it. It's just the whole 9 yards that goes into it is just, it's got me excited, but like you said, not, I'm sure they're not very excited at all.
Well, that's all right,
We,
trade-offs. There's things that excite them that don't excite me. So,
that's true. That is
but
true.
but
So
yeah, it
we
should be good.
yeah, we're doing some different stuff this year. A couple years ago, we implemented the in-person draft for our fantasy football league. So that's always a good um, little get together for our entire league. Get everybody together, have a fun little draft day. I think we're going to implement a champions dinner this year. So all the champions of our league, the past champions, going to be invited to a dinner hosted by the defending champion, who I believe is me. Um, and see, we'll make that.
Really,
We'll
really
see.
downplaying the success in here. Had to. Zach's a 4-time winner. Yeah, I did not stutter. 4-time winner in the league. That's been around for 11 years. So you guys do the math on what that winning percentage is.
Yeah. This fourth one was the most sweet, I think, to take the lead over our buddy Casey, who has 3. So yeah, just for shits and giggles, we've had 11 years, and I've won 4. Casey's won 3. You've won 1, and so that's 8 of the 13, and or 8 of the 11. I'm sorry, and
Yeah,
3
that's
people.
actually
So,
insane. Yeah, bunch of
but
just
yeah,
one-time winners after that. I got a couple. We got a couple of guys that aren't even in the league, and yeah, Quentin
well,
was original. He won. We may be getting one back. We did have
we
one
do.
leave, and he came back too. So
Yeah.
I've
We
never
do, in
seen
fact, we do have in fact one coming back for sure this year. So
100%.
100%,
Oh
he's
wow!
in
So we're adding to the champs
to the
dinner.
champ.
Looky
Yep,
there.
yep,
Wow,
yep, yep.
that's cool.
Exciting for sure. Super excited for that one. So
We got
just
some
all in
guys
all,
that should be winning one here soon. There's a guy in our league that I feel like has put up the most consistent performance in the past like 4 years. Because he played against me in my chip, played against you in your previous chip. I don't know where he ended up finishing last year, but
he came in second again last year.
yeah,
He
he
played
came in
against me in the
second
championship. Yeah.
came in second like 3 years in a row and has not won one. He's been in the league for like 4 years. I can't remember what he did that original first year, but if I'm going to guess, probably a deep run into the playoffs and just came up short. So you got to feel like, you got to feel good about that at least. I mean,
I mean,
you're
he's
making,
in the positive. There's a lot of other
yeah,
guys in our league that are not in the positive money
no,
wise. So
they're in the red, far in the red. Maybe we'll never come out of the red. It's hard to say. There's
need to
some
be a
guys making
4-time
some
champ.
donations out here. So, and Zach been a 4-time champ. And that's why I told Casey, I'm like, Zach's been a 4-time champ when the money was good too. Like Casey's original ones were when we were having like $50 buy-ins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at least 3 of your 4, I feel like have been at or maybe 2 of the 4, maybe.
Two of the 4.
And then the other one had to have been when we were I think we were going up like 100 every year at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So like you had probably one at like 200 because you
Yep.
won back to back. So yeah,
Yep.
$200 buy-in, $300 buy-in, $300 buy-in. Those were 3 of the 4 for you. While other guys got 3 and $50 buy-ins. So that's
$300 total to
yeah,
win.
$300 total. Yeah. So, but yeah, then you got other guys who haven't even sniffed an opportunity. So I would say I'm still in the red. Ultimately, 11 years paid in, and even though I had the one year, I think I finished second another year, and I think I may have gotten my money back 1 year. I think those are my three best results. So, because we give third place money back, but so I would say I'm still in the red though. Who knows?
I think to kind of help, we've gotten pretty high up there in our buy-in, as we've talked about already. I don't know if there's much more room to go up on the buy-in. So I
I
think
thought we
that
were going to keep going. I thought we were going to get to like 1,000 or something at some point.
yeah, that would be dope. I'd be down, but I'm not sure we can get all 10 guys down. That's for sure.
Well,
But I think that we are gonna kind of take a look at our payout structure this year and get a little bit more, get more people involved for payouts. Get some more rewards out there to get people involved. With the winnings last year, I did buy us a trophy for the league, so that's something else to play for. It's got all of our names on it, and obviously we'll be adding names as we go forward. So just trying to think about some different aspects past the increasing the buy-in to kind of make the league a little bit more interested and more fun for maybe just past the one person that wins every year.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I think there's some good changes on the docket that could potentially bring some good things back into the fold, at least, because last year we kind of had an anomaly season from one of the players, and you got to like feel for Buddy. I mean, he had the most points for in the league by a long shot. He went like
Best record,
yeah, it went like
yeah,
13-1 and finished in like fourth place,
fourth.
fifth, yeah, fourth. So no money back, lost all of his money, and we don't do like any week to week payouts, anything like that. And so obviously trying to, you know, bring it into where we maybe do some week to week payouts for most points for, then, gives the opportunity for somebody who's performing really well. And then I also like which I mean, I'm kind of back and forth because I see both sides, but I did kind of like the, fifth, by best record and then putting the
Yeah,
sixth in by points for. But then again, sometimes I've been that guy that's gotten in on that sixth, right in that range, and not had the most points for. So I feel like I'm never a high points for kind of guy. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously just things to keep it more intriguing and kind of reward the people that I feel like, team has maybe been more consistent or better throughout the year. So we'll see what gets approved and where we go.
I really like the consolation bracket idea. Just there's been a couple of years where I didn't make the playoffs, and obviously at that point you're checked out, you're done. You're like
Yeah,
I don't want to do this anymore. Focus on the betting on FanDuel after that. So I think that with the consolation bracket, even if you don't make the playoffs, you can. I don't know what we're gonna play for yet, but if we do adopt that, having that, I think would be a big positive all in all. Just keep everybody engaged over the entire 17-week season.
more buy-in.
Yeah, maybe.
Bump it up. I'm telling you, all you got to do
Rookie
is frame.
numbers.
All you got to do is frame it to these. All you got to do is frame it that it's not part of the buy-in. Like
True.
our buy-in is still this number, but hey, we're gonna do these little
Extras.
things where
Yeah.
you buy, where you pay at the beginning, and I promise, it's like it's like listing a house for $1 million or listing it for 999,000. You know what I mean? Nine hundred
It's all
ninety
the
nine
same.
dollars. It's all the same, but to the buyer, it's like you don't see that big, you don't see that seventh number in there. You only see the sixth, and so it's like somehow it's more palatable, for you to be like, oh, I'll pay that 100%. I'll do that. It's not a
For
million. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, buy-in still this, but hey, we're gonna collect a little bit of extra side money from the beginning, to pay out these things. And as long as people don't associate the two together, they're usually going to be fine.
for sure. For sure.
So, oh man,
Well,
anything
shit.
else? Anything else been going on?
Not a whole lot. Got a couple weddings here in August. Excited for that. Back to back weekends of that. So that'll be fun. And then
Wedding
we
man,
Yep. And then I got a bachelor trip here in middle of September. Excited for that one as well. So
got
I'm in
another 3 weddings next year, huh?
another 3 weddings that I'm that I'm a groomsman in next year. Yep. I don't that it happened quick, that's for sure.
It's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy. Yeah, gotta. Yeah, I haven't really thought about. Yeah, crazy.
Anything else you want to add on that front, on the wedding front?
What about it?
Anything going on? Anything big
Oh, on
happening?
my side?
Yeah.
Yeah, next week we finally are going to taste some food. It's been a long journey on that side of things. They only do one open house a month, and we missed it in June. I was sick and we tried to do it like kind of last minute, but they guess they take reservations, and so they did not have anything open for us. And they skipped July, of course, and so here we are, August. Yeah, gonna go taste some food next week, and probably at that point iron out the menu, and then we'll be that's kind of the last big thing. We met our florist last week to kind of get an idea of that sort of thing. So I mean, I feel like all the big items, I mean, we haven't like necessarily locked everything down, but contacted DJ, contacted floral, we already have the photographer, we already have the venue, all that stuff, date, all that stuff taken care of. So last big one's going to kind of be the food, getting that. And then I think on my side of things, I'll be done. I mean, I gotta figure out the whole groomsman suit situation and just that, but I think that's going to be relatively straightforward and easy to get done. And then Um, yeah, I think the rest will be on the ladies' side. They got all that makeup, they got the hair, they got all the stuff. I just got to get in the shower and get out. You know what I mean? So
Play some
get a
golf
get
in the
a
morning
get a
and get
get
ready.
a yeah, get a cut, go to the barber. The day before. That's basically all I got on my list of to do. So it's crazy that I was telling Jordan the other day. I said it's already been 6 months since we booked the venue. Like I just remember it being very first weekend in February, going and checking out the venue, and literally booked it that day and put the deposit down, and now here we are. Like in February, I'm like, oh yeah, we got time. Yeah, no worry. You know what I'm saying? And now here we are 10 months out, and here in a couple months, we'll be freaking 6 months out. You know what I mean? We'll be at the end of the year and be like, holy crap, we're getting married in 6 months. So, um, just crazy, but it's all coming together. So gotta wrap up a few things, and then at that point just start forking out money.
Yeah, I do know all about that, brother. I know all about that. But it does feel good to get like kind of the big outline type things done like well ahead of time. 6 to 8 months ahead of time, so you just kind of feel you know if there is anything that you missed, you have plenty of time to take care of it.
Yeah.
And so that's a good feeling in my opinion.
And I just feel like it'll be nice, like it'll be nice to, at this point, now that it's done, like now all that's left really is just the money. Like that's a lot easier to focus on. Is like, okay, like I need to pay this amount by this, and then it's like, okay, that's what I'm saying, instead of like thinking about 17,000 things, like what do we want for this, what do we want for this, how do we want to do this, what I'm saying, like we no longer have to think about how do we want our menu for food, how do we want our flowers, how do we want this, how it's like we've already done it. Now all we have to do is legitimately just pay for
Pay
it,
for
and
it.
that I
Yeah.
don't have to think about that. I just literally, okay, here's the budget, how do we make this happen, and boom, just go do it. You know what I mean? So that'll be one nice thing. It'll kind of take now that we have the plan together, kind of take all that stuff out of it. So
Have you guys determined a honeymoon destination yet?
we've not, that was one thing that we have not done. No honeymoon destination. She wants to go to St. Lucia, but I
Oh
have
yeah.
not looked at we have not looked at booking or anything. I think I need to get with my travel agent for that.
That guy's him, I heard. That guy is
Hey,
him.
I heard that he is as well. So, um, but yeah, I mean, we have not decided yet. So I'm just trying to.
I've heard good things about St. Lucia, so for
I
real
have
good
as
things.
well. I've heard like very mountainous with also like some sick views and stuff. So
Hmm.
I tried to talk her into the UK. Try to talk her into Oregon. Try to talk her into golf trips for the honeymoon, but she wasn't hearing it. So
Oh yeah, you're sick. You're
hey, shooter.
sick. I
Hey,
mean,
shooter's got
shooter's
to
got to
shoot.
shoot, though.
You know
Yeah,
what
you're
I'm
right.
saying? I mean, if you guys don't know, my fiance does play golf, so it's not like it was just like, hey, this is only going to be me. She just obviously does not care about it to the level that I do. She does love to play, so it was like at least like somewhat reasonable to suggest, but ultimately not like completely reasonable. It's more reasonable than if your wife doesn't play at all and you're just like, hey, we should go do this, and you could just hang out here for the day and I'm gonna
Right
go
in the
play golf.
cart.
You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, we're it's gonna be we're gonna be on the beach, the resort type honeymoon, which obviously I'm not mad about. But like I
No,
said, shooters gotta shoot. You gotta throw your shot out there every once in a while, see if maybe
it
you can
goes in the
get one
hoop.
through the net,
Yeah,
goes in the
might go
hoop,
through.
you're good. So I think I did get her on the 1 year anniversary trip, on the golf trip though. So
Nice. That's
so
big time.
that's how you compromise. Throw it out there for the honeymoon. Doesn't work for the honeymoon, but hey, that would be a
One
sweet
year.
1 year anniversary trip. And I'm like, perfect. Sounds great.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, sir. Well, I think that wraps us. We've been
Abs-
been,
yeah.
been on for a minute here, so
I don't think I got anything else on the docket going on. I'm sure we will here in the beginning of September, though. We'll have some updates on some fantasy football drafts, some friends tour finalization, and yeah, some more updates on wedding stuff and our lives as a whole. So
yep, absolutely. We'll be back early September. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Always fun to do these ones and talk about something else other than real estate for a little bit. Just show you a little insight into our lives. And so appreciate you guys listening. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Absolutely, guys. You guys have a great rest of your day.